So I arrived in Vietnam. I'd never been in combat before. I had no idea what that was going to be like. Where I was an advisor at was a town of Quy Nhon. And there at Quy Nhon, there was an orphanage. Well, I had been reared in an orphanage, so I had a feeling for that. And the orphanage was run by a group of Catholic nuns, but they got very little support. And so I would send back to my wife and people in my hometown and have them send me things, simple things like soap. That had a significant impact on me as far as the situation in Vietnam as an example, as compared to what we put up with in this country. And when I look back at my life as an orphanage, I had somebody to take care of me and help me to get to where I eventually ended up in my life. I got a letter from General Abrams. He heard that I was coming to Vietnam, and he wanted to know if I would consider being his aide and exec. And I wrote back to him, and I said I would love to do that, but I said while I'm there, I want to command a battalion. And he said, come on over, you can be my aide for 6 or 7 months, and then you can take command of a battalion. He was really my hero. I benefited more from those 6 or 7 months that I spent with him than anybody else that I could know. General Abrams turned to me one night at the dinner table and he said, Jim, he said, why don't you take command of that battalion? And I said, I'd love to take command of that battalion. What I found was that the racial issues in the battalion were the same as the racial issues that we had all over this country. There were distrust between the races. I had to find ways to break this distrust. What I would do is when they would come up and they would give the Black Power salute, I would give a Black Power salute back to them, and then I would do the hand salute. And so the soldiers, eventually, with other things that I was doing, they started picking up on this. Hey, I'm a human being too. I'm an officer, but I'm just like you. You know, we have a job to do over here. Let's do our job. I think if you're going to have an effective fighting force, first of all, you've got to have good leadership. And I always have come to believe that the role of the leader is to add value to other people. It's not about power, it's not about control, it's about inspiring people and being able to inspire people.